and welcome. Today's video is the first for a long time. Is it a dupe or just a waste of money? What we are testing out, trying out, and playing around with today is the Ccolor Cosmetics Glamorous palette. Now, if you're a little confused and thrown off by what this is a potential dupe for, fortunately, they talk about it on their website, but it's supposed to be an inspired by palette of the Natasha Denona Glam palette. Now, I'll be 100% honest with y'all, I was thrown off with this palette because it has 14 shades and it's missing this particular shade right here. I'm like, we're gonna go ahead, I'll zoom you all in here in a minute, and you all are gonna get to choose what side is the Ccolor Cosmetics side, what side is the high-end side, all of that. And of course, pause the video, let us know down below on what you think is the high-end, what you think is the affordable. By the end of today's video, definitely make sure to come back into the comment section and let your girl know if you were right or not. So if you're new here, welcome. My name's Rhonda and I do less editing because of you. Y'all have requested the real, true, authentic me, minus the dirty wordies, and that's what I give you all in my videos now, which it's honestly, it's really nice because I do enjoy the less editing. So thank you to you all for accepting this this girl. So anyways, it's a judgment-free, drama-free, stress-free zone where we keep it cute or put it on mute. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Ccolor Cosmetics Glamorous palette. So what you're gonna get with the Ccolor Cosmetics Glamorous palette is 14 shades. They're beautiful, muted glam tones. They are absolutely stunning. And I've told you all where I feel like Ccolor Cosmetics really excels in their formula is definitely when it comes to their shimmers. Their shimmers are creamy, they're vibrant, they're bold, they're just flat out beautiful. I just absolutely love them. They just melt right into the skin. Now I'll talk a little bit more about the mattes in the palette, especially when I'm comparing it to the Natasha Denona. Now one thing that I really want to stress when it comes to is it a dupe or just a waste of money, especially if you're new here, I am not trying to dupe the Natasha Denona formula. I don't think you can do that. Her formula, hands down, is my absolute favorite formula to date. I mean, there's no comparing. What we are really trying to do here is just create a look that is going to look very similar, if not spot on, to the Natasha Denona Glam palette. That is all. I do want to take a moment and say thank you to my YouTube membership members. Thank you all so much for being part of my membership program here on YouTube. You didn't have to, but you did, and I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you all. If you're curious about becoming one of my YouTube membership members, just check my description box down below to join into our membership. Alright, so this is in your standard type of cardboard packaging, and it does have a mirror in here, and it's actually a mirror that you can use. It's not one of those funhouse type of mirrors. And then on the back, of course, you've got the list of ingredients. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna show you all the swatches and everything, and then we'll get into the try on portion of today's video. Okie dokie, my friends. So I've gone ahead and I did prime my lids with my Jouer Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base, and I did prime my lashes with my Jouer Cosmetics Baddie Lashes. Code Hotmess will save you money on both Jouer Cosmetics and Jouer Cosmetics. However, unfortunately, Hotmess does not save you 30% on the Clean Canvas Eye Base, but it will on like all their lipsticks, their cleansers, their highlighters, all of that stuff, and their setting sprays. So now when it comes to Jouer Cosmetics, 20% is going to be saved over there. And the Baddie Lash set, it's a 3-step process. I've told you all for a couple weeks now, I've kind of let my lashes take a break as far as that goes. I had extensions for like a year and a half, and when I took them off, my lashes were really sparse. They're still kind of sparse, but using the serum has been absolutely amazing. I've noticed a huge difference. And then before I apply false lashes, just regular old standard false lashes, I do use the primer and the mascara with Ofra. Don't forget, the day I'm filming this, my palette and lip duo with Jouer Cosmetics is still available, and if you are interested in picking it up, I will have it linked below. Alright, so let's go ahead. We are going to go ahead and create a look. Just the standard, how I used to do, is it a dupe or just a waste of money? One eye is going to be, of course, the Natasha Denona side. One eye is going to be the Ccolor Cosmetics side. Before we jump into the application process, this is what the palette looks like up close. Now, I'll be 100% real with y'all. When I first received it, I was actually very thrown off by the palette because, as you see here, there's only 14 shades in here. Now, when you look at the Natasha Denona palette, there's actually 15. So I did go through the palette, and the one shade that is missing is right here in the center, called Lash Line, which I'm totally fine with because, to be 100% honest with you all, I don't even think I've ever used that shade. This is one of my favorite Natasha Denona palettes. You all know how much I love Natasha Denona, but this palette is a $69 retail value, and the Glamorous palette is $12. It's going to cost you less than that with code HOTMESS10, and it's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and insert swatches here that I did over on Instagram, like half and half. So like I said, I've gone ahead, I primed my lids. If you are curious as to what the base makeup is, I do have on my SEINT makeup. I'm absolutely in love with the cream makeup from SEINT. Y'all, if you haven't tried it out, definitely try it out. They have like a 30-day return policy. You can exchange stuff, you can return stuff. So that's how I got started with it. Went ahead and tried it out. If you do want a color match, I do have a link in my description box below. Now, I'm not going to set my eye makeup or my eye primer. That's something that I've been doing a little different. Typically, I would go in with like a vanilla or a bone shade and set everything, but I've kind of really been enjoying just jumping right in. We're gonna go ahead with this side being Ccolor Cosmetics, Natasha Denona on the other. Okay, we're in up close and personal. I don't know what kind of look I'm going to create, so I think I'm gonna just go ahead and start off with this shade right here called Blend. The nice thing about the Ccolor palette is they use the exact same names in the Natasha Denona palette as in this one, so it's gonna make your girl's life so much easier. So I do have slightly, well, as you can tell, slightly hooded lids. There's gonna be some creasing, so instead of setting, I'm gonna use the eyeshadow as the setting, and because I have mature lids as well as my hooded lids, I am going to do a little tappity tap tap, a little dabbity dab dab. Really kind of move it in to the crease. Now, as you can see with the swatches, for the most part, the shades are pretty spot on. There were a couple shades that you saw in the swatches that are a little off, but I honestly don't feel like they're going to be off by too much. And take a little bit of that blend shade and apply it underneath because your girl's got to have them wrinkles and crinkles. Okay, let's go ahead and move over. I'm going to try and just jump back and forth one shade at a time. It's been a hot minute since I've done this, so your girl's a little rusty and I don't want to forget. So jumping in to blend over with Natasha Denona and doing the exact same thing and tapping, dabbing and tapping. Now, so this is purposely one of the shades that I chose to use that you are going to see a little bit of a difference in the shade, the undertone. Right off the bat, this one definitely has more of a cooler tone, where this one has a little bit more warmth. But I think we're going to be able to pull it off and make it work out. So I am going to jump into the shade Crease. And I feel like mixing blend and crease together is going to help kind of marry the shades together and make it look a little bit more cohesive. So do a little bit more crease, and then we're gonna get that color to match a little bit better. See, it's already starting to happen. So it's still a little off, but definitely not as bad. So in order to get it to match, I am going to jump over to Transition and possibly crease over here in the Natasha Denona to kind of make it match just a little bit. A little bit more. There is nothing like Natasha Denona's formulas though, y'all. Oh, they're just so beautiful. By the way, yes, I'm using the same brush, but I've got a rag here and I'm cleaning it in between. So I'm not like cross-contaminating or nothing like that. So I do kind of want to blend it out a little bit. Gonna real lightly kind of just like so. Alright, so now it's still a little off, but not as much. Just gotta do a little bit more finesse then. Alright, we're gonna jump back into the Glamorous palette with Ccolor Cosmetics, and I'm gonna just take the shade Smoke and pop that in my outer portion of my eye. I'm gonna use my blingity bling bling brushes. You guys, these brushes are amazing. I've got a set back here as well. They are worth 100% of the hype. Code Hotmess will save you 10% over at Blinged Brushes. I will make sure to link them below. I'm just going to stamp my brush right in there, tap it real lightly, and then plop it right into the outer portion like so. And put a little underneath. Now I definitely feel like I need to stamp this in. If I start with a windshield wiper motion, these powders or eyeshadows in the Ccolor Cosmetics are a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit drier. So if you get to doing a little too much motion, you're gonna start to notice it kind of dispersing away, which is another reason I've kind of stopped setting my primer, because I've noticed if I don't, and I do just set it, it starts to just kind of blend itself away. But for the price, y'all, I mean, if I was paying $69 for a palette and the eyeshadows were doing that, yeah, I'm gonna be ticked off. I'm gonna be upset about it. But for the simple reason, you're paying $10 and change. I don't think it's really, honestly, all that bad. I think you can definitely make it work for you. So cleaning my brush and jumping into the Smoke shade over here in the Natasha Denona palette. And of course, as always, when I do these videos, it's more or less always to be able to provide you all the look that I see, how like it's definitely more of a almost more hydrating type of formula, the Natasha Denona. But it's showing you all how to be able to create similar eye looks with more of an affordable palette. It's never me saying, oh my gosh, the formula has been duped. Alright, so you're gonna notice a big difference as far as the application of the Smoke. Same brush, same application process. However, it being a bit more of a drier formula, it's a little bit more patchy on this side. So I'm gonna just go back in, try and fix it up a little bit. That Smoke shade though on the Natasha Denona side, she gorgeous. This is where I feel like maybe the missing shade lash line would have come in kind of handy with this palette. It's still a good palette, don't get me wrong. It's still, you know, it's still creating a very similar type of look. But I think if they had put that in there, we would have been able to kind of mix the color a little bit and get more of that cool tone. But too, my eye has been kind of doing that. I'm actually using retinol products on my face, my eye orbital bone area. So I think that also plays a role as well in the way shadows are going to apply. So definitely keep that in mind as well. So, okay, let's go ahead and stick with the Ccolor palette, and I think I'm gonna just go in with center eyelid right here with my finger. I absolutely love Ccolor Cosmetics shimmers. I feel like their shimmers are very luxurious. I think they're so pretty and so creamy, and I kind of wish whatever formula to keep it like dewy and creamy on their shimmers, I wish they'd kind of somehow implement that into their mattes. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Center Lid right here, this pinky tone. And I'm going to plop it next to it with my finger. And I think I'm going to put outer lid on there as well. Again, with my finger. Just right on the outer portion. Now to do it all on the other side with the Natasha palette. Clean finger, calm down. Alright, so we're going to go in with Center. Oh, that's so good. Ooh, I love it. Right here. And then we did the outer. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and apply some liner, lashes, and I'll be right back to give you all my final thoughts. We'll take a final look, all of that. Alright, let me give you all my final thoughts on this palette. If you are curious about my makeup, my base, and everything like that, I do have my SEINT makeup on my base. I am like super into cream, so yeah, I use a bunch of the SEINT cream products for the powders on my face. It is from my Jouer Cosmetics palette, which is still available. Code HOTMESS is going to save you 20%. As far as the mascara and primer and everything, y'all, I have been absolutely loving the Ofra Baddie Trio. Y'all, you get a serum, you get a primer, and you get a mascara, and all three of them, each item has properties to help grow and condition your lashes. There's like biokeratin in there, conditioning products, everything. Highly, highly, highly recommend that because I'm in a process of kind of taking a break from extensions, and really my lashes have needed the love. So, alright, so let's go ahead and talk about this palette. Do I think this is a spot-on dupe of the Natasha Denona Glam palette? No, I don't. I mean, we saw there's a couple shades in there, whether we swatched or applied, that were definitely, the undertone was a little different. Now, were we able to manipulate the colors in here to create a look that is very similar to the Natasha Denona Glam palette? Absolutely. And I feel like the biggest difference that you guys are going to notice, obviously, is some of the undertones, but of course the formula in general. You're getting a $10 and change palette. You're not going to get a $69 formula. So I always feel like now I have to remind people of that, because some people will be like, you've got to be kidding me, you didn't dupe the formula. And I'm like, no duh, sis, we're just trying to dupe the actual look. So there are a couple differences as far as the palettes go. Definitely the Natasha Denona palette leaning more on the cool tone side, and then you've got this one where some of the warmer colors in here definitely pull more warm. But overall, for a $10 and change palette, you're definitely getting a very similar palette to the Glam palette, and the color story is definitely there, and I think it's absolutely pretty. So anyways, if you are interested in picking up this palette, of course, just use code HOTMESS10 to save yourself 10% at checkout. That is a code that you can repeatedly use, so thank you to Ccolor Cosmetics for that. Thank you to you all as well if you do decide to use my coupon code, because that does put a couple pennies into my pocket, and I do appreciate it, especially with the holidays coming up. Speaking of which, the holidays coming up, I always tell you all that these palettes make the best gift, the best stocking stuffers, the best gifts to the teachers, the best Secret Santa. I mean, you name it, these are great to have on hand, in my opinion. I know a lot of you all do pick these up, especially for that makeup lover in your life that is trying to grow their collection but doesn't want to spend $60-some per palette. Definitely just get this. I mean, in all honesty, I have a huge Ccolor Cosmetics, a whole shelf and then some of their products, and they're great, especially too when you're traveling. I would much rather take one of these palettes with me and not have to worry, you know what I mean? I love the fact that they're affordable. Some of the shades you have to work a little bit more than the others, yeah, but again, it's a $10 and some odd change palette. So Hey friends, I did want to show you the end of the day, how both wore, and as you can tell, I mean, overall, everything wore pretty well. I think the Natasha Denona side wore a little bit better than the Ccolor Cosmetics, but overall, not too shabby. So, anyways, if you're interested in this palette, I will have it linked down below for y'all. Thank you once again to my YouTube members. You all definitely, thank you. I just tell y'all how much I appreciate you. And don't forget, I am on Instagram and TikTok. I have started going live over on Instagram, so definitely make sure to give me a follow over there so you don't miss out. If you are curious about my Saint makeup, you have any questions, just leave me a comment down in the comment section. I'll try and get back to you. If you want shade match, I have that in my description box as well. I'm new to the shade matching, so go easy on your girl. But other than that, I think we have a pretty successful try on. So let me know y'all's thoughts down below on this palette. Have you already picked it up? Because I am a little late getting this video up to you all, so I know that a lot of y'all are probably already receiving your orders from the Glamorous palette. So anyways friends, that is all for today's video. Make sure to check me out on my other channel, Hotmess Momma Vlogs, for plus size curvy girl fashion hauls over there. Once again, don't forget TikTok and definitely Instagram, because I'm going live over there, and I may even start doing lives over on Facebook too. I don't know, I'm trying to just get on out all over the place. We are on a journey to 100K, and we're gonna get there. And if you made it to the end of today's video, hit that subscribe button. Be my friend. Join this journey. Why not? It's free. I'm also going to have some videos playing at the end of today's video. If you want to watch some more, is it a dupe or just a waste of money? Because I was going ham sandwich in 2017 up into 2020 until the Rona hit and kind of shut down a lot of plants. And I feel like a lot of companies have kind of like just now recently started bringing back some of those duped palettes, which I really appreciate. So anyways, check out the playlist or just check out whatever video pops up at the end. I'd greatly appreciate it. Anyways, until next time friends, kisses from Kentucky. Bye.